How Bitcoin Can Reach $1 million in 8 Years, explained by Arthur Hayes. The former CEO of BitMEX is a believer of Bitcoin and has explained how it will trade at $1 million in 8 years. According to Arthur Hayes, co-founder and former CEO of well-known cryptocurrency derivatives platform BitMEX, Bitcoin will cost more than $1 million by the end of the current decade. Hayes offered a thorough explanation of how the most well-known cryptocurrency would rise by 2,500% to $1 million from its current price. In this video I will tell how. The Doom Loop. Hayes discussed a process that he refers to as the Doom Loop, which is made up of 3 things that nations around the world undertake to pay their deficits: sell debt to domestic firms, sell debt to foreigners, and have the central bank generate money. He pointed out that the still present geopolitical concerns are making the already high inflation rates worse. But eventually, as inflation reaches its pinnacle, central banks will be forced to use yield curve control, YCC, a strategy used to avert bankruptcy. Hayes predicts that this will be the turning point for Bitcoin. YCC is the culmination. When it is finally made, whether implicitly or explicitly, the value of the USD compared to gold and, more significantly, Bitcoin, will be declared to be zero. Through YCC, we can obtain $1 million in Bitcoin and $10,000 to $20,000 in gold. The HODL culture. Hayes also argued that the exponential price growth of Bitcoin over the past 10 years was to blame for the emergence of the HODL culture. He noted how this idea had become so popular among BTC enthusiasts that hodlers were adamant about never selling their holdings and preferred to spend only cash. The co-founder of BitMEX cautioned that, once all Bitcoin blocks have been mined, this HODL mentality could slow down the network because miners would then have to rely on transaction fees rather than block rewards. Because hodlers are tenaciously holding onto their BTC reserves, the network's hash rate will decrease to 0 if there are no transactions, rendering Bitcoin unusable. He then urged all Bitcoin enthusiasts to participate in the network by conducting transactions to prevent the collapse of the network. Arthur Hayes also said, "We must agitate for self-interested flags to save part of their current account surplus in Bitcoin so that Bitcoin farm-to-table economies sprout around the globe. Again, unlike gold, Bitcoin must move. Otherwise, the network will collapse."